So here we are. This is low tide on this beach. It's a great expanse. So there's Samira behind us, Batikite on our right, and then all this beach that opens up. So there's locals getting stuff out of the water. I think they've pulled together the seaweed into truckloads. So there were trucks here earlier. I'm guessing they'll be back before the tide comes to grab those heaps of stuff. The channel between the island and here really narrows. Apparently it has sea urchins. So I was saying, like, can you just walk to it? They were saying, well, you can, but you have to be careful on your feet. And then this is just, when the water comes in, it's nice to see what's underneath you, and it really is just open sand. It's nice. On this far corner, the local kids come down, play football, race around their mopeds, hang out at the beach, like just literally just hanging out. And when there's kite surfers, they just sort of watch, and they're quite inquisitive still to Westerners. I guess some of them haven't left Indonesia, so we're quite novel, I suppose. This apparently is a power line getting to that island. The houses are only on this side, I think, because the trade wind is always this way, so to be sheltered they're all just on this side. And I mean, what a place to have a sunset walk. Could be, well, what a place. We had the goat herders. We had a lady leaving her house all dressed up smartly. Some of the women wear the hijab and others don't. So it's clearly not a, you don't feel guilty if you don't wear it. As always with me, I always see the rubbish and I think it would be nice if we all picked it up. So I think this is how they harvest the seaweed. The ropes have bottles on to keep it floating, and then it's drawn tight in this grid fashion, and then you can see how it's growing on the ropes. And then I guess at some point they harvest that. So apparently the price was something like 14,000 rupees per kilo, and it went up to 40,000. Here you go. I don't know if that's been like hand laid to grow, but that's quite, it's quite a work of art. And then I guess it's all harvested at some point. So if you're wondering where your seaweed comes from, some of it might be from here. And I've got the sandbags. Just trying to see how this works. So they form, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ribs maybe. Then the cross ropes, sandbag it, and the bottles, so it'll raise it off the floor. At least I guess the bottles are being used. Quite interesting. Well, I find everything interesting. You can see all the bottles out at sea, so that's probably all got the seaweed on. That might be a lot of work. I think there's guys in the water like tending to the, I guess once you've got it on there, you leave it. But if they have to place it on the ropes, that's quite a bit of work. Anyway, just wanted to show you this sunset. Just pretty Quite a spectacular sunset. I love that the locals come to the beach. Love it. I mean, me being tourist, they've all gone back, but this is the place to be, isn't it? Sunset Beach with the locals hanging out. I think that's a sea snake. So it's lost its head, but I think he feels strange. I think that was a sea snake. What else can it be? I mean, it had a head. Wow. I feel lucky finding that. Black and white striped. So this must be its like underbelly, right? I'm not just making a fool of myself, surely. Must have been, right? I'll look it up. Black and white zebra pattern sea snake. You can see more evidence of the ropes. The temperature, in case you're wondering, maybe 24, 26. So just perfect temperature. What a lovely place. So this resort has only been around since 2018. They found the site in 2018, so it's really not old. And then COVID came, so they set up. COVID had to close, and then reopened as soon as COVID let them back in. It's an Indonesian-French mix of owners. They filled in the fishing ponds, built the cabins, and boom, now it comes up on Google. Kitesurfing Indonesia. And what a spot they found, really is. And I'm sure there's many more. Just takes a bit of effort, like the guy who found it. Sorry if this is boring, just trying to give you the experience of Indonesian Sulawesi Jeneponto kitesurf beach experience. Maybe these are old ropes here.
Sushi!
You're on.
No, Mickey!
I just missed the awesome interaction. Five, six girls eating little fruit. Wanted selfie, so I had to go over and I went over and had selfie. They're so sweet. I always forget to press play or record. I sometimes think that, you know, I'm intruding if I record interactions. Whoa! Whoa! I nearly lost it. Definitely nearly lost it. So that's really funny, that race through the water. His bike is dead now. So he's trying to kickstart it, but I think he's flooded it. The fisherman I was talking about has the net. This one has no stick. He's looking for something. And my bet is he's gonna catch something. Alright, and that is sunset. Maybe I'll just walk a little bit longer. So we've got fishing boats going out. I had more selfies with the young boys this time. The girls knew much better English than the boys, just putting it out there. They knew much more vocabulary. I was trying to communicate that their friend went through the water and killed their bike, and he just kept telling me no. But I can see the guy still kickstarting his bike. So for me, the answer was yes, but maybe I wasn't communicating well enough. Oh, the guy who had the net, he's now running in with the net. Oh, his other friend has the bucket. You won't be able to see it, just there. Yeah, they caught something. Well, the way he was carrying it suggested they caught something. Not being funny, but this is a delightful place. It really is. And this is the bit where I try and gauge the looks. Do I get weird looks as I kind of approach bits probably not many of the tourists wander down to? So I'm just going to wander down and then just judge if I get funny looks or not. Oh, there's fishermen with their boats, and there's movement around. Lots of fishing boats. Really is a active place. Looks like a little village area here. You can see the TV aerials. We're living there. I'm not going to get too close. I don't know how precious they are about their boats and stuff. I completely love that the kids are on the beach. Obviously they've had their day, whatever, probably at school, and now down they come. Get a bit of a run about. It's quite rare now for kids. I hope this is a good shot of all this. Hello. Only English, sorry. I read something the other day that kids, like a 4-year-old kid, will laugh 400 times per day. A 40-year-old will laugh 4 times per day. I haven't been able to stop thinking about that. You're born with laughter. Born with it. And somehow life drains it out of you. I hope you can hear all these guys having fun. Suddenly, sorry, this is again complete rubbish, but you suddenly wonder who is actually poor. Kids having fun, laughing, giggling, all I can hear is joy. Go back to the west. Like the end, it looks like, of the Batikite looks to be there. I wonder how this will look in 10 years' time. I should have gone and looked at those guys. They brought in a catch, which they're now sorting in the shallow pond. Salmon throwing others. And really need to do better at this. The guys with the net, they're still also going through their catch. All right, we're back at Batikite now. I'm going to do that stroll more often. Sunset stroll. Love it. Look at this beach, just wide open. Okay, this is the bad bit. You ready? Obviously this will be at the end of this day's video, so no one will see it. But look at this. This is all trash. Bottles and bottles and bottles and bottles. And do you know what? I have a solution. I've been thinking about this. So the bottles, sorry, there's a crab. The bottles are going to disintegrate and make everything plastic, right? Into the water, into the food, everything. And we'll all die of plastic poisoning. You know, back in the day it was lead, arsenic, what's the other one? Asbestos. And now our generation is full of plastic. So how do you do it? Well, Asia. So I understand why. Everything used to be biodegradable. 40 years ago there was no plastic, so everything was biodegradable. If you got a banana, you could throw the banana skin. You could chuck everything, and it would all just degrade. So apparently, because that was the culture where you could throw your food debris, when then food came in a plastic packet, the mindset was that you threw the outer skin, the plastic, because it's biodegradable, but it's not. So anyway, long rant. So that's why there's so much junk. And then the other problem was there was no facility within the country, so for example Indonesia, to get rid of so much rubbish. So you've gone from almost none to tons and tons and tons and tons of plastic. I don't know if you care about this. Anyway, be at the end of a video, so it doesn't matter. So you can easily solve this overnight. You say you're the government and you do a plastic recycling plant, or you know, there's ways of treating plastics. You can, let's assume you can recycle plastic and all the rubbish. So you just put out there, we'll pay you 1,000 rupee per kilo. Bin it, like bin bag it, bring it in to set up centers, and then we will come along with our big truck and we will take away your plastic. I personally guarantee that this beach would be clean within a week, because the kids allow it so kids can pick up the trash, allow it so anyone can bring his kilo of trash, make it a price worth doing, let them weigh it in and take it off to your recycling plant. Obviously there'll be abuses, people will just go in the bin and take the bin, you know, you'll get all that. That's to be expected. But once all those resources are empty, you've suddenly got a clean beach, you've got a clean roadside, you've got a clean everywhere, and then all the planet wouldn't have the plastic. And all there would be is then minimal. And at the same time as communicating the 1,000 ringgit per kilo of rubbish, you communicate like, don't throw your rubbish, we'll fine you 1,000 ringgit or rupee, however much. And then you can moderate the price you offer depending on demand and supply and so on. Anyway, that's my idea. I know I bang on about it. Butterfly. Loads of starfish in the water. But I don't know, would that be a thing? I mean, wasn't there a time when kids collected Coke bottles, took them in for 10 cents, 5 cents? Wasn't there a time when kids did all that? Where'd all that go? Look at all this trash. Bottles, cups, water, mainly bottles. Wrappers. Just this whole thing. Absolutely covered. I mean, how far would you get if one person did it? You need to pay, and you need the whole town to be doing this. Anyway, I'm not a politician, so I'm never going to be able to install it, and they don't care because they're busy putting money in their own pockets. All right, that's it.